Hey strong people, Kalle Beck here from StartingStrongman.com, and the Arnold Classic is just not even 2 weeks away at this point, and it's getting exciting. And I'm going to be breaking down all of the events and if Thor can repeat, if Shaw can get his fourth title, and all that stuff. But I want to go back a couple years because the biggest thing, it shouldn't be the biggest thing. The biggest thing should be who's going to win the contest. The biggest thing is the controversy between if someone deadlifts 500.5 kilos on an elephant bar, does that break Eddie Hall's record? Not going to answer that in this video, but I'm going to go to an article I wrote for flowelite.com. If you just want to read it, just click the link in the description below. Pretty much moments after Eddie broke the deadlift record. I think a lot of people accuse me of being an Eddie Hall hater, and that's not true. I have a lot of respect for everything he did, and I think it's phenomenal. And so I just want to read something that people seem to, glance over that I wrote on July 11th, 2016. Eddie Hall becomes the first strongman to deadlift 500 kilos. I didn't title it. That should just be first man, first person, first anything. In front of a packed arena of nearly 10,000 people and thousands more watching the live stream online, Eddie Hall deadlifted a mind-blowing world record weight of 500 kilos / 1,102 pounds at the World Deadlift Championships in Leeds, England. The hype around this year's championship seemed so unbelievable it bordered on cheesy. Last year, Hall said he would deadlift 500 kilos, and many, myself included, barely gave it a second thought. It was an absurd statement at the time. Hall is a phenomenal deadlifter, but world records just don't fall by 36 kilograms. It's just not how it works. They fall by one at a time, or maybe two. They're not just blown out of the water. The bar started at 400 kilos, and with the speed the athletes were pulling their attempts, you could tell something magical was going to happen. Hall roasted 400 kilos, as did Benedict Magnusson and Jerry Pritchett. Most of the frontrunners were good at 420 kilos as well, but 440 kilos proved to be too much for most. Bjornsson picked up big points with a gritty, successful lift. So that's something to note. That time, 2016, Hafthor barely got 440 kilos. Now he's doing that as a warm-up. And Pritchett dropped jaws with a very fast rep. It was absurd. Then 465 kilos was loaded onto the bar for a new world record. Remember, that world record was broke. And what was the world record before it? Oh, it was the 463 on the elephant bar. Interesting. Get to that in a future video. Was loaded on the bar for a new world record. On any other day, three lifters going for a world record would culminate the excitement, but you could tell this was just another step in this historical day. Hall blasted it and left little doubt in my mind, and others as well, that 500 kilos was going to happen. Pritchard followed with a shockingly easy lift, and Magnusson slowed down just slightly at lockout. I was almost shocked to see some strain on a deadlift that a few minutes ago to barely see some strain on a deadlift that a few minutes ago no man had previously lifted that much weight. And three people just did it, pretty much as a warm-up. When 500 kilos was loaded onto the bar, the crowd was buzzing. Hall strapped in, pulled, and made the weight look effortless until it passed his knees. He fought to push his hips forward until the judge gave him the down command, a new world record. Logic was defied, and history had been made. The effort took a lot out of Hall. He collapsed around the bar. After Eddie finally regained his composure, heavy tears flowed. You could see how much effort was put into this lift before that day. The training leading up to it, the belief, the sacrifice that was made. These are the moments that make strongman great. Not the lift itself, but recognizing the sacrifice, heart, and determination needed to make the implausible a reality. I need to get back to writing. So that was a remarkable day. Breaking the world record by 36 kilos has spoiled strongman fans, in my opinion. And people think that three people can do over 500 on the elephant bar. That's a future video. I just wanted to share something I wrote back then on why I still feel even if it's broken or anything, that Eddie Hall's 500 kilogram deadlift was one of the greatest moments in strongman of all and all of lifting of all time, and always will be, regardless of anything that happens. And it can't take that away, but things progress, and that's just the nature of sport. It just things that seemed unbelievable someday become just commonplace. Just like on that day, 3 people broke the current world record by a kilo or 2. That's unheard of, and that happened, and we'll see what happens in 2 weeks. I'm Kalle Beck. Thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe and turn on post notifications if you want to keep up to date on all the news on the sport of strongman. And follow myself at Let Kalle Lift. Of course, follow at Starting Strongman. Pick up some programs at startingstrongman.com/programs. And go to store.startingstrongman.com for all of your training needs from top companies such as SBD, Cerberus, and pretty much anything you need in your own training for the sport of strongman.